Welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I am your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today from MOP V, Tony and Elisabeth Cortes. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi.
Thank
How are
you.
you? Thank
Well,
you.
you guys are right in the thick of two things that I care a whole lot about: music and veterans. And I'm just thrilled talking off camera with you about your organization. But before we get into all of the things that you're doing now, we want to get to know you guys a little bit. So share a little bit of your story and how MOP V came to be, and then we'll kind of pick it up from there.
Sure, sounds good. Mhm.
Yeah, well, Elizabeth and I are both Army veterans. I joined before September 11th, and she joined because of September 11th. We met in Germany, and we fell in love and got married, started a family. We went to Iraq together, and I guess that's a little out of order chronologically, but that's what we did. And then when we started a family, she got out of the Army, and I stayed in and ended up retiring in 21. And we retired in Maryland, where we got to kind of meet a lot of a good group of veterans in our local area, as well as a good group of musicians. And we were looking for ways to kind of deal with some of the, excuse me, to kind of deal with some of the, problems or issues emotionally that can be caused by service that both of us experience and is not unique to us by any means. Uh, so Elizabeth played guitar since before I knew her, and I was learning and really just to help my son practice. So I was learning before I knew it. I knew chords and was playing songs too. So we decided, we needed something in music. When I pick up my guitar, I feel good.
Right.
People around me don't like it, but I like it. And so we were at a dinner or lunch one time and just kind of spitballing some ideas, and we came up with this idea for MOP V, which is the music outreach program for veterans.
And as we said before, Mont V is a play on words. So we had to wear these mock suits in Iraq. So there's Mont V, it's for chemical warfare. And so we thought about that there is still a war going on, even at home, with veterans' minds with traumatic brain injuries and post-traumatic stress disorder. And a lot of them struggled communicating their emotions. Like sometimes it's hard for them to go to a vet center to talk to others. So we wanted to create a new way to be able to help veterans communicate through music, whether it's writing or playing an instrument. It could be the guitar, the piano. And so utilizing, so we called it MOP V, which is a protective covering for us out here, since we're no longer in Iraq, for our minds, kind of like shielding that and to be able to communicate through music. So that's how we came up with MOP V.
First of all, thank you both for your service. We so appreciate you. As you can tell behind me, Operation Combating Veteran Suicide, our nonprofit partner with the Scene Projects. Veterans are very important to us. And a lot of these veterans, 22 a day, that are committing suicide are dealing with exactly the kinds of things that music can heal. It can give us purpose. It can allow us to express our feelings and all of these things inside of us that really have no other outlet besides music. I'm a musician myself. I've been playing, I picked up concert band playing drums in fifth grade and quickly, found a guitar in eighth grade and started writing my own music immediately. So I know what songwriting has meant to me in my life and in those darkest hours of my life, whether it was when I was experiencing homelessness or drug addiction or any of these things, which is all of those things are probably a reason I identify with veterans in that community so much, because I've lived through a lot of the same things. I have never been to war, but, I've been to prison, and prison is probably a lot like boot camp, right? So there's a connection there for me, and I just so appreciate the idea that you had, but then also the wherewithal to continue to build this community around music for veterans. It's absolutely incredible. So all the kudos to you for continuing to do that. I know you mentioned Maryland before and kind of being in that northeast corner of the United States, but you've recently moved now. You said Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm assuming lots of military around there. I know the South is full of bases. And so obviously you're finding a veteran community down there. Are you working with some venues to put on live music and different shows like that as well?
Right. So we've been out here for about 2.5 months, but I've already gone out and communicated with the American Legion Post 99 and Gulf Shores, and they're wanting to have a meeting to start maybe doing an open mic over there. Alberta VFW in Alberta, Alabama. It's about 20 minutes away. They're willing and wanting to work with us too, and learn more about music outreach program for veterans. I communicate with local artists like Cat Rhodes and The Truth, and Brian Morris, and her daughter was in the military and served 2 tours, and she's a big supporter of music outreach program for veterans as well. So we're going to get involved with the Arts Council, the Gulf Shores Arts Council, and see that they have grants and stuff. And just like we were doing in Maryland, we are underneath the 501c3 underneath the Cecil County Arts Council, and we're looking to get involved more with the community out here. So we are working with other organizations to reach out and set up a chapter here separate from the one in Maryland. So
the one thing we learned the most is that these organizations that are veteran based that really love veterans, like the VFWs and the American Legions, are best asset, not just recruiting members, but even to showcase,
right.
So,
yep. And
one of my
go
first
ahead.
shows was at a VFW. So even our local, I grew up in Deadwood, South Dakota. Our local VFW had we actually did a battle of the bands, and it was a fundraiser for our baseball team. So
Yeah.
I know that around the world that these organizations and these buildings are sitting there, I would say mostly underutilized at this point, because the culture has kind of shifted away from those organizations a little bit. Now there are so many, veteran 501c3s out there. You have these big ones, Wounded Warrior Projects and things like that, that have kind of become behemoths in the charity world. But I don't necessarily know how many, actual veteran lives that they're able to touch. And I think that's something that's been missing, because the VFW is focused on a local community where veterans are actually able to get together and to not just share war stories. That's not what it was about. It was about having a community of people that have known what you've been through. Like I said, I haven't been to war, but my grandfather on my mom's side was a Vietnam War veteran. My grandfather on my father's side was a Korean War veteran. Several of my cousins. And, I've had a lot of family that are in that veteran space. And especially what we found working with OCVS now is that there isn't as much of that inside of the communities as there once was. While there are plenty of resources online and out there in the world, it hasn't really it's shied away from physical communities, and not just the cities and towns, the actual people that make up the community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of them that make up the community, and it goes back. I mean, we still have Vietnam vets that are still struggling, that are really enjoy playing the guitar, and back during that time they didn't have as much support. So even getting the Vietnam veterans that are left involved with this program, and they're involved in the community too. The word spreads fast, and it helps them, and it will help others. And hopefully we can continue to grow our chapter, grow MOP V throughout the nation, and work with other nonprofit organizations like Guitars for Heroes, or and any organization that supports the veterans. So we're here to balance each other out. We're our comrades, we're brothers and sisters in arms. We need to always empower and support one another.
We're in competition with other charities like ours. We want to be support for each other, because we have a common goal.
Right. Well, and it seems like, so kind of the function of MOP V is really to be the connector, the one who can bring the veterans together with, if it's a music teacher or it's a venue to set up and to bring people in for an open mic and play. You guys are kind of the main connector for all of these people that are otherwise just kind of floating out there on their own. Is that a pretty fair assessment?
Yes,
it is.
You are a network, the best kind of social network. How can people get involved with you guys?
They can go to our Facebook page and follow us, and it's capital MOP and then dash capital V on Facebook.
Yeah.
And find us on there.
And our website is also on there, so you just click over to our website, and then also there's a link to the Cecil County Arts Council. So because Music's an Art, we were able to work under their umbrella. We didn't have to wait for all of our paperwork. to get working. So we were able to get going while the paperwork was in process, and they've been a great partner for us with fundraising and we used their insurance, all kinds of stuff. So
they're able to apply for grants for us as well.
yeah,
And we're going to try to do that out here in Orange Beach too, because the more help that we receive, the more veterans that we can help. Because it is a nonprofit. So raising funds, we have T-shirts that we some merchandise that we give away and sell, and we just want people we want our name to get across the nation and know that there is a way to communicate your emotions through music and playing and writing songs. So.
Well, I am thrilled that I can be some part of that promotional effort. I have a lot of other things on my mind right now because of the work that we have done and the network that we have. We'll talk a little bit more off camera as well about how we can help you to amplify this beautiful signal that you guys are broadcasting out there. It's just so wonderful. It's so needed. I mean, obviously, you see the projects have a close tie to our veterans. And the goal has always been to take this from local South Dakota out and throughout the world. Our founder is actually Mrs. South Dakota International. So she has a pretty large platform of her own. And we're just looking forward to continuing to meet organizations like yours that align with not just our values, but align in actually getting out and helping veterans on the ground. We are very boots on the ground people here as well. So we're going to connect with you on the Facebook page. We'll be sharing that out there and everything as well, and helping you grow that community. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I let you go today?
No, just as engineers always say, we say essayons, which means let us try. So let us try and help and be supportive of other veterans. So engineers, essayons.
I love it. Well, guys, thank you so much for being part of the scene.
thank you.